Hi everyone, this is Kishori Kumar. I'm working as a senior software engineer in one of the product based organization. I'm also a Java trainer. I provide Java training along with interview oriented trainings. So I provide trainings for data structures, Java, Algo, and microservices. so I'm going to discuss with one of the very famous and very common interview question, that is how HashMap internally works. So this is very common question, and I believe a lot of candidates are having confusion about this, how internally it is maintained. Uh, so as for example, I can give you if someone someone asks what exactly the bucket is. So many are confused, like what exactly the bucket. So they think like each bucket is having node in a linked list manner, but they don't know or don't understand how that's actually working. Means what is exactly the bucket. Now I'm going to explain that the concept of bucket with the help of code, and I will go inside the HashMap code and I will see how exactly it's working, and I will explain you through uh, the, the practical codes and all. So let's start. So I have already created a class where I'm putting some data into the map. So here I have taken map of integer and string, where integer is key, string is value. And in this video I'm gonna discuss only about the put, how put works. So I'm not gonna discuss each and every part of put. I'm gonna discuss how this at least one element is getting inserted into a map. Okay, so I have already put it a debugger point. Let me debug it. Now you can see we are going to call a put method with 1 and 1. Now let me go inside. So you can see here we are calling value of y because we are passing 1, and actually the type is integer, so it's gonna to take the number and return integer object, which you can see here. Now so after coming there, let me go in a simple manner. So it has already returned the integer object so that it can be put. Now let me go inside this method. You can see the value is 1 and the key is 1. Now everybody knows that HashMap works with the help of hashing mechanism. So hashing mechanism means we will get some hash value. On the basis of hash value, we are going to calculate the bucket index. So for that, get the hash value, we have this method hash of key. Let me go inside this hash of key method, and then we'll see what's happening. So I'm here inside the hash method. It's you can see key is the integer one. Okay, so this hash method calculates, gets hash code, and then on the hash code it does some operation, shift operation with 16, and then not operation with the particular hash. Let me show you what exactly it's gonna to return us, this entire method. So let me go to the evaluate expression. Now here key dot hash code. So int h equal to key dot hash code. When I will run, it is telling me that h is 1, which we are getting as a hash code for this particular one integer object. Okay, now it's doing some hash code operation, hashing operation with h, the shifting, and with 16. Okay, now let me see why we have taken 16, because the default bucket size is 16. So that's why we are taking here 16. Okay, so that we'll get some particular index. Okay, so let me go with this. So this hash code, after this operation we are getting 0. Now this is doing one more operation, one more bitwise operator operation. This one is not. So let me show you after doing that operation what's happening. Okay, so it's doing with h operation and it hash code. Now let's see what this hash code is having now. You can see it's giving us 1. Okay, this is, just remember, this is not a bucket index. This is just a hashed value we are getting as 1. Now let me go through. Now we have already calculated hash, so with that hash value, key value, and this false true, this both thing I will cover later in the next videos. So in this video we are just going to see how exactly the insertion is happening. Okay, so now let me go inside this put val method. Now we are here. You can see we are taking some table. So I will show you, this table is only the bucket. This table is only the bucket where our data will be inserted. So let me show you what exactly table is. So I will go up, 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 up. So you can see table is nothing but array of node. So I guess here I'm clarifying doubts for those persons who doesn't know what exactly bucket is. So bucket is also nothing but array of node. Your node is the thing which will take data, and node can only reference to link, means next node in the same bucket. That's why we are taking array of node. So we can say now bucket is nothing but array of node. Okay, so that's the bucket. Now let me come to the particular method where I can show you. Okay, so now this table is already null. Okay, that's true. It's gonna to call this resize method. Resize method. Now with this method, I will clarify one more doubt. Many people thinks like when we are calling this new hash map, at that same point our bucket is gonna to get created, but that's not true. The bucket is not created until unless we don't do this kind of operations. Okay, our bucket won't be created until unless we do this operation. After doing this operation only, when it says table is null, that means bucket is not yet created. It's gonna to call resize, and this resize method is gonna to create bucket default buckets for us. So with the default size 16, let me go inside this resize method. Now we are here at the resize method. So you can see they are assigning table to the local old tab variable. So still table is null. Let me go further. Okay, so this is called threshold. Don't be confused with this one. Threshold I will explain later in my next videos what exactly threshold is. So there here they are initializing new capacity and new threshold with 0. Let me go ahead. Now you can see still all threshold is not getting 0 because still we have not created our bucket. Let me go further. Okay, it has come to S. Now it is gonna to initialize the default size. So what is default initial capacity of bucket? We can see here it's 16. Okay, it's 16. 16 is the default bucket size. So we have got our bucket size. This is threshold again that I'm gonna explain later. Now after this, again this they are assigning the threshold to threshold. I'm going to discuss this later. Now you can see here I have called put operation. In the put, resize method has been called, and this resize method is gonna to create array of node objects, okay, with new capacity. So I told you new capacity is 16 and the default bucket size is 16. So with this default bucket size, this node array is gonna to be created. Now we can say after running this statement, we can say our bucket has been created. Our bucket has been created at the put operation. Now let me go further. Now I'm gonna to get that our buckets means the array of node. Let me go further. So now you can see here resize, after calling resize they are getting the length. They're assigning this length to n, which is 16. Okay, after running this statement we'll get that this is 16. Okay, so now it's very clear. After calling the put method, our bucket has been created with the default size 16. Now we are gonna to do what? We are gonna to calculate the bucket index. So we have the highest value here in hash. Okay, so you can see here hash n is you can see here n is nothing but the n is nothing but a bucket size, so which is 16. So they are doing the operation here has and n minus 1. They are doing some and operation, and let's see what they are gonna to give us after this calculation. So let me go further. So you can see we are getting bucket index 1. That means now we are going to insert our data in the bucket index 1. That is the second bucket we are going to insert in data. Why I am telling second? Because we are starting from 0 0 1. So 1 index it need to be inserted in, so it's the second bucket. Okay, so you see, you saw here like we on the basis of hash value we are doing some and operation. So we are doing bitwise operator and operation, and then we are getting the index, particular index. Now we are going to create a new node, and I'm going to assign that to bucket of I is nothing but the first one. So I'm assigning in the second bucket. So a new node has been created with hash value key and value. Now let me go further and let's see. So now that has been already done. We have created one bucket, and that we have created bucket with default size 16, and we have created a node, and we are storing that to the particular index 1. 1 is because we have done operations with the hash value, then we got 1. With that one we have inserted in first index. Now you come here, mode count limit. It's not, don't need to explain it. Now threshold, again the thing is like the threshold has come here. So to explain this logic I need to tell you what is threshold. So threshold is thing, if suppose we have default bucket size is 16. If we need more buckets in future, so as the buckets 12 will be crossed and we need the further bucket, threshold is 12, but we need the further bucket, next bucket. So for that next bucket, in this put operation only, the JVM is gonna to resize our buckets, gonna resize buckets, so that in the next put operation the space will be automatically available. We don't need to do again the same operation at the same time. At that point of time we are doing it here itself. So this is what threshold, and this is what this logic resize. Okay, now we'll go further. This after node insertion that I will talk later. This is talks something about await. So this is nothing but a callback functionality which we'll talk in the next video. Now let me go. So our put operation is done. We are done with one put operation. Now I will summarize again, means what exactly happened. So when we called put, it went to the put method, and then it calculated hash. So hash, with the hash method it calculated hashing, means it went through for hashing function, it calculated hash value for that particular key, and then after getting the key we did some and operation and bitwise operator operation, and then we got the bucket index where the node need had to be inserted. Okay, then we inserted node at the particular bucket, and then we return back. Along with that, one more summary which I want to highlight, which is very much confusing term. Buckets are created only when we do put operation. Only when we are doing put operation, then only the bucket is gonna to be created. That we need to keep in mind, not at the time of object creation. So never be confused that at the time of object creation we create bucket. Buckets always are created when we do put operation, okay, with the default size 16. Okay, so this is all about the put operation. So we will go further as well. Means, see, as you know, each bucket may have multiple node values, multiple values. So multiple nodes we can say. So those nodes are like are connected with that particular bucket. So that I'm gonna to tell you later with the next put operation. So in this video, I wanted to cover this much. So I hope it clarified doubt of many people. If it is clarified, please hit like and follow my channel. Along with that, if you have any doubt or any suggestion, you can post that as well in the comment section, so that I will see it and I will go through it. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope this helped few people. Thanks.